Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivracharya Sutta Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivracharya Sutta Shri Bhakti Santa Saraswati Maharaj ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Radha Radhanath ki jai, Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Giri Govardhana ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ganga Maya ki jai, Jamuna Maya ki jai, Tulsi Maharani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we'll be reading. I'm sorry, you have to be stuck with me again today. So we'll be reading from Canto 4, Chapter 19, Text 9 today. So in the meantime, let's just say our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So the verse, text 9. Sindhavo Ratna Nikaran Girayo Nam Chaturvidham Upayanam Upajahu Upayanam Upajaru Sarva Loka Sapalaka Sindhuvo Ratnanikaran Girayo Nam Chaturvidham Upayanam Upajaru Sarva Loka Sapalaka Sindhuvo Ratnanikaran Girayo Nam Chaturvidham Upayanam Upajaru Sarva Loka Sapalaka. Can you repeat? Sindhavo Ratnanikaran Girayo Nam Chaturvidham Upayanam Upajaru Sarvaloka Sapalaka Sindhavo Ratnanikaran Girayo Nam Chaturvidham Upayanam Upajaru Sarvaloka Sapalaka Sindhavo Ratnanikaran Girayo Nam Chaturvidham Upayanam Upajaru Sarvaloka Sapalaka. So we'll do the word for word. Sindhuvaha, the oceans. Ratnanikaran, heaps of jewels. Giraya, the hills. Anam, eatables. Chatuvidham, 4 kinds of. Upayanam, presentations. Upayajaru, brought forward. Sarve, all. Loka, the people in general, of all planets. Sapalaka, along with the governors. Translation. King Prithu was presented with various gifts from the general populace and predominating deities of all planets. The oceans and seas were full of valuable jewels and pearls, and the hills were full of chemicals and fertilizers. 4 kinds of edibles were produced profusely. A purport by His Divine... you can repeat the translation. King Prithu was presented with various gifts from the general populace and predominating deities of all planets. The oceans and seas were full of valuable jewels and pearls, and the hills were full of chemicals and fertilizers. 4 kinds of edibles were produced profusely. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So, as stated in the Upanishad, this material creation is supplied with all the potencies for the production of all necessities required by the living entities, not only the human beings, but animals, reptiles, aquatics, and trees. The oceans and seas produce pearls, corals, and valuable jewels, so that the fortunate, law-abiding people can utilize them. Similarly, the hills are full of chemicals, so that when the rivers flow down from them, the chemicals spread all over the fields to fertilize the 4 kinds of foodstuffs. These are technically known as chavya, those edibles which are chewed; lehya, those which are licked; kusya, those which are swallowed; and peya, those which are drunk. Prithu Maharaj was greeted by the residents of other planets and their presiding deities. They presented various gifts to the king and acknowledged him as the proper type of king by whose planning and activities everyone throughout the universe could be happy and prosperous. It is clearly indicated in this verse that the oceans and seas are meant for producing jewels, but in Kali Yuga, the oceans are mainly being utilized for fishing. Sudras and poor men were allowed to fish, but the higher classes, like the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas, would gather pearls, jewels, and coral. Although poor men would catch tons of fish, they would not be equal in value to 1 piece of coral or pearl. In this age, so many factories for the manufacture of fertilizers are being opened, but when the personality of Godhead is pleased by the performance of yagyas, the hills automatically produce fertilizing chemicals which help produce edibles in the fields. Everything is dependent on the people's acceptance of Vedic principles of sacrifice. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Tadati Swapajantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopeka Kanta Radhakanta Namostate. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vanchakalpatarubhescha Kripasindubhevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, dear devotees, we'll try to say something on these purports as given to us by Srila Prabhupada. And we see that in the first instance here, Prabhupada is making the point that there are so many living entities in this material creation, and food is being supplied to all of them, right? Everyone is, whatever necessities is required for the living entity to survive, it's being supplied by material nature, especially Mother Earth, the earth basically, and she is providing us with all necessities for us to live happily in this world. And by the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in this case Prithu Maharaj, right, that the ocean is producing pearls, corals, and valuable jewels like this for us to utilize, and be benefited from these things. And yet we see that Mother Earth is so tolerant of us, right? We do so many atrocious things to basically hurt her, like we drill into the ground in order to get valuable jewels. We drill for oil. We like this. So she's a personality, and can you imagine if someone keeps poking you and basically doing all these things to you? How would you feel, right? So Mother Earth is tolerating all of these things, and she's so tolerant that she keeps on supplying us all of these amenities for us to live in this material world. So we should learn a lesson from Mother Earth on how to be tolerant. Sometimes when someone tells us something that we don't like, we're too quick to respond in an angry way, right? And we should first think about what the person said and whether it's good and beneficial for me, and then respond. So just responding, on this very spontaneously to whatever comes to mind, can get you into big trouble, right? And we had experiences of this, where we just blurted out something and then we regretted, why did I say that? So we should think about it. This is basically means controlling the mind, We should think about it first before responding. So in this way, we should learn some type of, or we should learn these qualities that Mother Earth possesses, right? Tolerance especially. And the purport goes on, right? The ocean and seas produce pearls, coral, and valuable jewels. Now, yesterday also I was reading about this, how the earth is producing all these valuable jewels for the rivers. Basically, we're producing pearls and diamonds and all of these things, right? And recently, I think I saw a documentary of where people are going, and in the river, they're getting diamonds like this. So one has to know the process of doing it, and in this way they can actually use these precious jewels for their survival in this material world. Now, we find that we go on, and Prabhupada says, similarly, the hills are full of chemicals, so that when rivers flow down from them, the chemicals spread over the fields and to fertilize the 4 kinds of foodstuffs. So what are the 4 kinds of foodstuffs? These are technically known as charvya, those edibles that are chewed. Now we also find this in the Guru Astakam that we sing in the mornings. Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado Swarana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangha Kitveva Triptin Bhajato Sadeva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. That the spiritual master is offering those 4 kinds of foodstuffs to the deities, to the Lord, right? That which is chewed, that which is licked, which is swallowed, that which is drunk, like this. So we can offer. This is what we do basically. We offer these foodstuffs to the Lord, right? We can just dive more deeply into these foodstuffs, if you don't mind, right? I know everyone's hungry, but just talking about these foodstuffs, which is prasad, none other than Krishna as well. So these foodstuffs, things that are chewed, are like rice, roti, right, and certain vegetables. Or vegetables, basically. When we're eating, we chew it. We have to chew it properly. It is described in Ayurveda that if you do not chew your food properly, then it gives rise to diabetes and all of these illnesses. So one has to chew. It is described that we have to chew our food like 32 times. We need to chew the food. So we can chew and chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna while we're munching our food, So in this way, it comes very liquidy. So they say that one should drink their food and chew the water. So in this way, when the saliva mixes with the food, then the food very easily is digested. And to chew the water, you need to swish it a few times in your mouth, in order, and then drink it, because the saliva has to mix with the water, and in that way it creates a very nice sort of situation in the tummy for your food to be digested like this. So this is Ayurveda. When I read sometimes, on Ayurveda, and I watch certain videos on, what types of food to eat, especially now with my illness, then we have to basically take precautions, and our eating habits have to change as well. So, so those are foods that we basically chew. And then we have those foods that we lick. So which are those foods that we lick? These are like sweets, candy, lollipops, ice cream. So these are basically sweet food that we lick on, right? And in some of the Vedic foods are like chikki. Chikki is like peanut brittle, something like that we can suck on or lick on, and then son papri as well, right? You just put it in your mouth and it melts, and So these are some of the foods that we actually lick on. And then we have foods that are drunk, and those are mostly like juices, fruit juices, guava juice, pineapple juice, mango juice, all these nice summer fruits basically. And the other types of juices are like nimbu pani, like lassi, adrak ki chai. Adrak chai, basically ginger tea, especially in winter now we're having ginger tea most of the times. And when Lord Jagannath, basically when he comes out to bathe before the Rath Yatra, then he falls sick, and then we offer him all these nice condiments and medicinal herbs and teas to actually for him to recover. So in this way we offer him ginger tea as well, right? I know when we used to, when Jagannath was here, then we used to make different sweets also with ginger for his pleasure. So see, Krishna is very personal, right? And we need to communicate with him very personally. So in this way, when Jagannath gets sick, then we need to take care of his needs like that. So, sometimes we can also, if we have Gopal deities, right? Most devotees have Gopal deities in their homes, and then they may cook something and offer to Gopal, but they have to cook something that Gopal will actually accept, because he's a child, he's in a child form, right, baby form. So, how would you cook for a baby his meals? Right, you make it very soft. Maybe the rice will be like soft, and so that he can easily swallow it. So something that's not too spicy, something that's not too hot also, because he can burn his tongue. So like this, we have to be very, very careful on how we actually reciprocate with the Lord in this way. And we find that, during Janmashtami, in our temples, basically, we offer so many varieties of foodstuffs, right? Because there's so many devotees that come and cook for the Lord, and, each one wants to make different preparations. And we offer him, like, maybe at our temple, like 108 offerings, like that. So some devotees also make Western preparations like pizza and pasta and burgers, like that. But we should offer Krishna what Krishna likes, and in this way we can please the Lord. So yes, so these offerings are made to the Lord with love and devotion in this way. So these different types of offerings. So like when Raj Bhoga, we offer these different types of offerings that which can be chewed, sucked, drunk, and licked like this. So we offer these different types of foodstuffs to the Lord during Raj Bhoga. So normally Jagannath will, Lord Jagannath will accept Shri Radha Radhanath ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So if one has Lord Jagannath deities, so what would you offer to Lord Jagannath? Right? What would they offer Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri? Right? So we should try to learn these offerings and offer to Lord Jagannath. They offer, I know the most famous thing is Khaja, right? And if those devotees who have Jagannath deities, they should learn how to make Khaja and offer to Lord Jagannath. In this way, he'll become very, very pleased, right? So when you go to Jagannath Puri, you will see the streets lined up with Khaja all around, So basically, Lord Jagannath is eating this, So and we can have that as prasadam. So yes. So these are some of the types of food that is offered to the Lord. So we'll go down the purport, and Prabhupada says, Prita Maharaj was greeted by the residents of other planets and their presiding deities. They presented various gifts to the king and acknowledged him as a proper king by whose planning and activities everyone throughout the universe could be happy and prosperous. So here Prabhupada says, it is clearly indicated in this verse that the oceans and seas are meant for producing jewels, but in Kali Yuga the oceans are mainly being utilized for fishing. Sudras and poor men are allowed to fish. So here, the people would go out fishing, right? And when we go to our ocean, to the Indian Ocean, on the Durban's beach front, what do we find? E. coli. It's basically, E. coli is contamination, right? That's the sewage water is being, poured into the seas. And that is so sad, this is Kali Yuga after all, what can be done? So you cannot even go swimming in the ocean because of the high E. coli levels. And we see some people fishing, and there are fishing areas, fishing spots that one can go to and basically fish. And then we get, we also have shark nets, right? And I was reading, I think it was a Facebook post, and the sharks are saying, this is not a shark-infested ocean, this is our home. So, there's a point there that these sharks basically live in the ocean, and we have to beware, that this is the home of the sharks like this, because Krishna has provided facility for all of us, for us to live on the land. The sharks are not coming here on the land and biting us and chasing us away, frightening us. No, but we go into the ocean and we, basically pollute the ocean, and also in one sense, cause so much of harm to the sharks that's living in the ocean. And so we should be mindful of all of this. So let's just go on reading and see what Prabhupada says here. So, he says that the higher class, like the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas, would gather pearls, jewels, and coral. So pearls, jewels, and coral are basically very valuable, and this can be found in the ocean as well. And so the higher class of people would do this. The Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas would do like this, right? And so we find that we shouldn't be exploiting material nature. Even though she's producing all of these things, we shouldn't exploit the oceans and the rivers like this. So in this day and age, it is being described here that one should perform yajna. So this yajna keeps coming. Even yesterday this came up, that one should perform yajna in order to satisfy the Lord. So all of these things would be very abundantly produced for us, right? But people have actually did away with yajnas, and in this age that we're living in, it's the Sankirtan yajna that is prescribed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I just I'll just relate a past time. We were doing Harinam Sankirtan on the Durban's beachfront, right? And then there must be many Muslim people that hang out in the evenings on the beachfront. And so this was a night Harinam that we are doing. And one of the ladies, she said that, what are y'all doing? Y'all are disturbing the peace here. And I'm like, yeah, we're disturbing the peace. So you are sleeping, right? Jeev Jago, you're sleeping on the lap of the witch called Maya, and we are basically, coming with our cartels and symbols and waking you up and, reciting the holy names for you to hear. And by you hearing these holy names, you are going to get benefited from the Sankirtan movement, right? Just by hearing the holy names, you will get benefited. But no, you are basically chastising us, like, why are we making a big noise, on the beachfront? So I just want to sing a song it's actually by Narottam Das Thakur, and it's entitled Hari Hari Bipale. This was Srila Prabhupada's favorite song, favorite bhajan. And we'll just go through this song, and I'll read its meaning and how Srila Prabhupada presents it. So let's hope I can get the tune right. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goenu. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goenu. Manushya Janama Pai Radha Krishna na bhajiya. Kaniya suniya bisha koinu. Hari Hari Bipale Janama koinu. Gole kera prema dhana Hare Nama Sankirtana. Ratina Janmi Loke Neta. Samsara Bhishanale Dibai Nishjiya Jwale. Jureta Na Koi Upa. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Koinu. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Koinu. Prajendra Nanda se Sutachi Sutta Hoilo se. Balaram hoilo nita. Dina hina jata chilo Hari Nam udharilo. Dina hina jata chilo Hari Nam udharilo. Tara Shakshi Jagaya Madha. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goinu. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goinu. Ha ha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanu Sutta Juta. Karuna koro e bharo. Naratama dasa ko Nata hilo ranga pai. Tum abhina keya cheyama. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goinu. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goinu. Manushya Janama Pai Radha Krishna na bhajiya. Janiya suniya bisha koinu. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Koinu. Beautiful song, right? So let's read the meaning of this now. And we find that Prabhupada, he's like so expert in explaining things, and we just have to take whatever Prabhupada is saying and repeat it, right? And Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goinu. This is a song sung by Narottam Das Thakur, a very stalwart acharya in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sampradaya, disciplic succession. He has sung many songs, important songs, and his songs are accepted as Vedic conclusions. Very authoritative songs. So he says, praying to Lord Krishna, my dear Lord, Hari Hari, I have simply spoiled my life. Hari Hari Bipale Janama Goinu. Why have you spoiled your life? He says, Manushya Janama Paye. I have got this human form of life, Radha Krishna Nabajiya, but I did not care to worship Radha and Krishna. Therefore, I have spoiled my life. And how it is? It is exactly like one takes poison knowingly. If somebody takes poison unknowingly, there is excuse. But if someone takes poison knowingly, it is suicidal. So he says, I have committed suicide simply by not worshipping Radha and Krishna in this human form of life. So here we see devotees, there's so many human beings, but how many of them are worshipping Radha and Krishna? Or even, the Vishnu Tattva, like the Vishnu avatars, how many of them are worshipping the Lord? So in this way, the onus is upon us to go out there and to give everyone these holy names of Radha and Krishna, to preach, to distribute books, and so this is a preaching movement. We need to go out there and get everyone to take to the process of Krishna consciousness. Then the next paragraph, Prabhupada says, then he says, Golokera Premadhana Harinam Sankirtana. This Krishna consciousness movement, Sankirtan movement, is nothing material. It is directly imported from the spiritual kingdom, Goloka, Vrindavan. So Goloka Premadhan. And it is not an ordinary song. It is a treasure. It is just a treasure of love of God. So we find that in these holy names is a treasure of love. Right? By chanting the holy names, it awakens our dormant Krishna consciousness and awards us with Krishna Prem, love of Krishna. So Prabhupada says here, this is no ordinary song. This is imported from the spiritual world. It's coming from the spiritual world, right? It is not an ordinary song. It is a treasure of love of God. So, but I have no attraction for this. Rati na janmilotai. I have no attraction for it. On the contrary, Vishaya bishanale, diba nishi hiya jwale. And because I did not accept it, therefore the blazing fire of poison of material existence is constantly burning me. Diba nishi hiya jwale. Day and night, my heart is burning on account of this poisonous effect of material existence. And tari bare na koinu upai. But I did not seek any remedy for this. In other words, the remedy of this blazing fire of material existence is the Sankirtan movement. It is imported from the spiritual kingdom. And who has imported it? Who has brought it? So in our case, we know that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has brought it down, but Srila Prabhupada took it all over the world, right? He traveled the globe 14 times in 12 years, and he distributed these holy names in every nook and corner of the world. So, but there's still much more for us to do. Therefore, he left the rest for us to do, that we can go out in towns and villages and distribute these holy names of Krishna, right? Where people never heard of the name Krishna before. We should go there and should give these names out. Then he says, Brajendra Nanda Jay, Sachi Sutta Hoile Se. Brajendra Nanda is the son of the king of Braja. This is Krishna. Krishna is known as the son of Nanda Maharaj. He was king of Braja Bhumi. So, Brajendra Nanda Jay, the same personality who was formerly the son of Nanda Maharaj, has now appeared as a son of Mother Sachi, Sachi Sutta Hoilo Se, and Balarama Hoilo Nitai, and Lord Balaram became Lord Nityananda. These two brothers adventing, they are delivering all kinds of fallen souls, papi tapi jata chilo, right? Papi tapi jata chilo. As many fallen souls they were within this world, they're delivering them simply by this chanting process. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So just by this chanting process, they're delivering all fallen souls, right? The living example, they're delivering this simply by this chanting process, Hari Nam Udharilo, simply by this chanting. How is it possible? Then he says, Tara Shakshi Jagai Madhai. The living example is the two brothers, Jagai and Madhai. These Jagai and Madhai, two brothers, they happened to be born in a Brahmin family, but they turned into debauch number one. And of course, nowadays, in this age, their qualification is not considered debauch. Their debauchery was because they were drunkards and women hunters, right? So we find that, today everyone is like that, right? Therefore, they were called debauch, a meat eater also. So, but they became later on delivered by Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda and great devotees. So in this world today, everyone is basically eating meat. Everyone is, not following the four regulative principles, basically. So if Lord Krishna has to come, he has to kill everyone like this. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that, he gave us this method in which to cleanse our heart, to kill all the demonic tendencies within the heart so that, we become eligible, become pure devotees to go back to the spiritual world. So, so this is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Prabhupada goes on to say, so Narottam Das Thakur's explanations says that in this age, although people are drunkards, women hunters, meat eater, and all gambler, all kinds of sinful actors, still, if they take to this Krishna consciousness movement and chant Hare Krishna, they'll be delivered undoubtedly. This is the blessings of Lord Chaitanya. Then Narottam Das Thakur prays, Haha Prabhu Nanda Sutta, Vrishabhanu Sutta Juta. My dear Lord Krishna, you are the son of the king of Nanda, and your consort Radharani is the daughter of King Vrishabhanu. So you are together here standing, Narottamba Dasakai, Natahilo Rangapai. Now I am surrendering unto you. Please do not kick me away or push me away from your lotus feet, because I have no other shelter. I am just taking shelter unto your lotus feet without having any other means. So please accept me and deliver me. This is the sum and substance of the song. So it's such a beautiful song, With all humility, we should sing the song. And it is true, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we were doing all sorts of nonsense. And by coming to Krishna consciousness, then we have actually making our lives pure, right? By the Sankirtan process, by the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. So I have a few minutes more. We can take any questions or comments. You have many realizations, I know, from the chanting of Hare Krishna. So maybe you can share that with me. Hare Krishna. Yes. Ravindra Swarup. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So back in my days, when I used to do all nonsense in my part in my life. I used to smoke cigarette, and then I used to put the stompy on the floor, and not realizing that's Mother Bhumi, which is the devotee of Krishna. So, and then I finally realized that by chanting Agni Dev, chanting fire, so I put a stop into it and everything. So when I came to Krishna consciousness, then I finally realized that what I was doing was totally wrong, and I just prayed to the Lord in front of him, and I told him, if you want me to surrender, I will, but if you want me to give up cigarettes, please give me the power and bone. And for me it was very, very difficult for me to give up cigarettes.
It's addiction.
So it was a total life addiction for me. And by the mercy of the Lord, he helped me to give up cigarettes.
Yes, all of us are Jagais and Madhais, doing some sinful activity or the other, engaging in intoxication and gambling and all of these things. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has saved us, so we're very grateful for that, So we come to realize the little things, like how you were saying, you were smoking the cigarette, and Agni Dev is present in that cigarette, right? So yes, so we have to, when we come to Krishna consciousness, and we are conscious of all of these things. Otherwise, we care to hoots, we just want enjoyment like that. Yeah, so thank you for sharing that. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Say something.
I know you was talking about fishing, and normally I should chant on the beach, and I would see people fishing. So I would ask them, how's the fishing, how's the fishing? And they would say, it's bad. So I said, that's very good. They hadn't caught any fish, so that is very good. So
yes.
yeah.
Yes. So yes. And sorry, what else?
So yeah, but you're talking about the chanting of the holy names, giving the holy names. Yes, we have to give it everywhere. We just had a recent. We went to North Dean area.
Yes, tell us about your experience there.
North Dean, we went. We were chanting, and Vasudev was there. Myself, Vasudev, a few of us, and there was hardly people. We went into roads. There were nobody actually coming out. It was really quiet. But we chanted right on leading the kirtan, and then we went close to one house. We saw one boy very far away. And he was chatting. I think it was his mother. And then we chanted by the gate, and then we left. But then we were returning. He was standing at the gate, waiting for us to come. So he's a white boy, Francis van Wyk. And I stopped the kirtan, and we spoke a little bit, gave some Krishna consciousness. And we invited him to come to the temple. The next day he was here at the temple, dancing and chanting. Yeah. So it was quite amazing. Yes. It was here on the Sunday program. Quite ecstatic.
Yes.
And then I was speaking speaking about the mind and how, and I was talking about taking intoxication. The different steps one goes through. And then after the kirtan, he told me, I was also thinking of taking cigarettes because he smokes. And as he was going through it, I'm feeling to have that cigarette, but something is telling him no, from within, not to have. So it's important, yes, to go out and give Krishna consciousness to others. Thank you for that. Because I noticed we have, in all your classes, from that I heard, you never miss this part about the chanting of Hare Krishna. So it's wonderful. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Yes, so the most important thing is for us not to just be like armchair philosophers, but to go out there and to give the holy names to people, See, like this one person, how, amazing it is that you just went on Harinam and he was attracted and he came to the temple. So like this, we need to go and deliver, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went out into the streets and gave these holy names to everyone and anyone. So like this, we should follow in his footsteps and go out there and try to bring people to the shelter of Radha and Krishna. Thank you for that. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Okay, just one more realization. So on Saturday, Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, Darian, and myself, we went for a program in somewhere around the area. So anyway, we were chanting in the kirtan, and then there was this youngster, like around maybe about 5 or 6 years old. He just came outside and he started clapping hands and all that, the holy name and all that. The holy name was like so powerful. And
Yes.
so while we were chanting in the kirtan, there were some people, they were having their own discussions and everything. And they wasn't like really interested in listening to the kirtan, but there were like five people were like not listening to the kirtan. And this youngster, he came and he took into it by clapping hands and chanting with us. So it was quite amazing.
Yes, so, attracting the fallen souls back to the lotus feet of Krishna. Yes, thank you. Jai Sachinand Prabhu, any words of wisdom from you? Say something.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sorry, I came late. I missed some part of the class. I know you singing
Okay.
a beautiful bhajan.
Oh.
Yeah, Ravindra Swarup was speaking about his little boy. He's learning to play tabla, but when he came, he offered his obeisances. Somehow he's learned some culture. I don't know. He taught. He just came from nowhere, and he told us he's learning to play tabla. So we gave him a danga, and he's like he's just managing his arms around it, and he's playing it. And he's quite a.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope he'll become some kirtan leader one day.
Yeah, you should have taken his contact details and kept in touch.
We know where they're from.
No,
They're
okay.
in Shellcross, the other side of Shellcross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are many pious people in Shellcross. Many devotees came from there, right? Yeah. So, hopefully we'll stop here now. Anything from Rukmini Mataji? Okay. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.